I am Brenda Jean Power Medicine Woman, and I am from Medicine Woman Solution. There's always a solution as long as you're aligned. This is a healing show. This is the one thing about the show is that it's not about the 1 minute reads. This is about you wanting to step up so that you can learn to share or to get a healing. This is a cheap price for the amount of what we're going to do. I'm hoping you understand what Thursday show's about. And it is this getting real with who and what we are as humans. And what does that even mean? We can move into a different state of being by allowing us to become more observant and with tools to help us shift us to the next state of where we're going. And that is the quantum aspect of how you can heal. So the quantum law of attraction is what I teach. What I'm helping people do is you're diving in deeper, learning how you attract things, reset yourself by observing, learning to use tools to do just that so that you can move into the new direction to become a happier, healthier spiritual human. It isn't about right or wrong. It's about the healthy alignment. It is about how you can become more your authentic self. Now, you three are here, and I want to, Autumn, I feel like you have something that you want to address. Is that correct?
I guess. I mean, there's things that I've dealt with in my life, and it's nice to be able to get a healing.
Okay.
Because I've had a lot of energies come through.
Okay. So you will get a read, and if necessary, and we will go from there. Now, if you understand what's happening with you, and so we're looking at you're doing a safety thing, and we're going to, you feel under pressure to always have to be somebody. Is that true?
At times, yeah.
Understand that particular personality doesn't fit with the new part of who you are. And so you're going to start fighting against your comfort zone. Oh, I'm always going to go back to who that. Well, I have to behave with that. And you're like inside, no, I need to move forward. So I want you to notice that you are always under a great amount of overwhelm to always have to be in that space. Begin to see you have to become real with what the under pressure is. Is it for other people? Yes or no?
Say that one more time.
Is it being under pressure? Is it for other people?
Yes.
Are they asking for you to do that?
Depends upon the person.
Okay. So there's a lot of pressure upon you saying you have to live up to them because you don't want the response, a negative response from them.
Yeah.
Okay. So understand that your body is saying, I feel unworthy of being who I am. So you haven't really been able to develop that. So you're sitting in the unworthiness. I have to do this. You've put these standards up for yourself. And I want you to begin to feel how you know that statement to be true. I have to do this. I got to. I feel unworthy. And this isn't something that's easy to discover, but you need to be able to find something to measure. Okay, under pressure, I have to do it. So I'll let you think about that just for a moment. And then I'll jump over to Kelly. Now, Kelly, is there anything particular that you would like to address?
Nothing in particular.
Okay. Now, when she's got nothing in particular, but you know your life is not quite what you want it to be, is that correct? Okay, so we're going to tap into that feeling because her body, she's memorized whatever's going on in life, and her body is saying this is what we are, and the energy goes out, and then this is what makes the day event. Even if there's nice stuff, sometimes you just go in that feeling and you're like, I don't know how to break that habit. And so we're going to look at that feeling. And what they want you to do is, can you measure it? Feeling like you just don't have the power to do something, or the strength or the motivation. You just, is that the feeling I'm picking up? Okay. So they're telling me that you can start by reprogramming the body and hold L2D. So you'll go in the left wrist, second position, and hold nice and deep. Okay. And then, Autumn, have you discovered what you wanted? Can you feel it? You understand what I'm talking about, but can you feel it?
I can feel something, but I'm still, my ability to decipher on what is still a little.
Very proud of you, Autumn, because the thing is that when we're clouded with everything, yeah, it is very hard to decipher. So just notice you can't decipher. That's like huge. You can't able to. So I'm going to have you do R3S. So kind of just feel what you're feeling. Hold right wrist. Find that third position, nice and soft. Okay. And you're going to do that. Now, I'm going to ask LaRonda to unmute. Now, what can we do for you, my dear? You had a nasty fall. Are we addressing that?
Yes.
Okay. So she lives in Michigan and she has ice. And even she warned herself, watch out for that step. And the steps kicked her in the ass. Now, metaphysically, it is the steps in life. If you are not letting go and moving, the steps in life are going to kick your ass because you're not going to be able to move forward. You're not going to be able to do stuff. So your reading has to do with why did her energy, her soul, all of this, why did this happen in her space is what I want her to understand. And it's like she has to live through wounded pride. So think through your life, LaRonda, did you always have to live through others and wounded pride and have to, do you understand, and have to put yourself back into your own place? You know?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. And feel the standard you have upon yourself. It's something you say to yourself, you have to do this. You pointed to yourself and you're like, and you're ready. So understand your body kicked your ass and your energy is all over the place. And they want you to understand that there are a lot of times that you jump to conclusions when you're thinking. You see that behavior, that's what they're doing. You see that, that's what they're doing. And what happens is that you've been judged so harshly that you turned around and judged yourself so harshly. And in order to be a strong woman, you have to make sure you're stronger than that. So then you get to the point where you're judging. Well, the problem is that they want you to break this down by noticing that when you were walking and thinking, you were jumping to conclusions. Your mind says, don't step on that. But at the same time, I feel like you had, out of the 41 thoughts per minute, you were arguing about something in your head. And then I also saw you play out, hey, you know what? Who cares if I fall? And yet it was, no, I don't want to fall. That'll hurt. And then you had this argument in your head. So you had a couple arguments in your head, all to do with judging instead of using discernment. Does this make sense?
Yes. And yeah.
Yeah. So you may not remember fully all what happened, but just know that fuck is what came out of it. You knew you were going down. You were going down. And the argument. So what I want you to do is I want you to focus on your physical pain. Your physical pain, and notice that there's no peace. And I want you to put that on the scale from 0 to 10, and we're going to start to get the body to start to repair itself. So on a scale from 0 to 10, what is the pain? Sitting still is probably not bad, but what is the pain?
It's a 10.
It's a 10. We're going to start off with a little R2S. This is what we're going to do. Right wrist, sweetheart, second position, nice and soft. And notice that you'll think in sort of negative, and you'll jump to the conclusion. There's like, you have to think and you come to the conclusion. I have to think. This is what they call logic, but it's kicking your ass. Okay. All right. So
right wrist.
Yep. Right wrist, second position, nice and soft. Okay. Now I'm going to mute yours, LaRonda, because there's a little bit of noise in the background. And for all of you that are watching, why is it important that we do this particular thing we do? And that is, most people don't know that they can get out of hell. Most people don't know that they can become happier and healthier. They don't know. They can say, it's not for me, it's out there, it's away from them. And the out there feeling, hell is inside. Oh, it's few and far between. I want you to be able to know that you're not alone. You don't have to live there, and you can undo these things. Now, Kelly's been working with me for, I can't remember how many months, but she knows her hell. But she has know that there's a difference, and she's like, she can witness it, she can see it, she knows there's growth, and her soul is saying, you know what, I want some more of that. I really, really want to get out of how I memorized my life of just being in hell. And so why is this different than other healings? And this is simple. People say, let's do hands-on healing. Great. Let's raise the vibration. Let's get the innate wisdom to work. Let's do all these things. But why doesn't it really last? Is because thinking and action are two different things. Me helping you heal does not cause you to grow. It causes you to maybe get over that symptom or issue right then and there, but then you're going to go back to your old patterns and habits and beliefs and values that cause you to go back into old patterns and repeat stuff. You need to do the work. We can clear the energies, we can detach things, we can do all these things, but you still have to do the growth, the mental, the emotional. You need to understand these two particular parts of the bodies. If you keep using flippant talking, you are going to just be ultra spiritual. You have the spiritual stuff, but you're going to be living in your shit, and you won't realize what the other side's doing. And when you are away from people that are in their spiritual stuff, they're going to go out there and you're going to commune with people that are different frequencies than you. I have to go out there, but I do my best to maintain me, my authentic self. And when people get into their negative, nasty ways, you are going to go down into your chakras and you're going to match so that you can bond. But if your bonding method is more of a narcissistic one, or your bonding method is a whole other way of doing something, what's going to happen? You're not going to wake up. You're going to stay asleep. And the cause and effect will always be from one extreme to the other. You won't start to get it to be balanced. This is what you want. Karma is cause and effect. It isn't about, oh, good versus bad. It is not about punishment. It can be, but it's about balancing your shit. It's about living in the joy. Your negative bias brain is not really hardwired. You've hardwired it by memorizing your shit and making sure you don't forget it, and you put that life force power there. You're hardwired for joy, and you always have been. You always have been, okay? And it's important that you begin your life in a new direction, okay? It's in a new direction. That's what you want. You want to be able to grow. It's so important to stop living in there. And that means it's going to be rocky because your ego has always been in charge. But when you start to move and clear that brain to stop repeating this particular hell, yeah, get comfortable, Autumn, because I totally understand that. I
have back problems.
Yeah, and when you're holding your arms up, it makes the back problems a whole lot worse.
And I also deal with stroke and muscle spasticity. Not fun.
Yeah, we will help you start to balance that as well, because you shouldn't have to always be locked into it. Okay. Anybody else having an issue? Because I'm hoping it's just my iPad. I just got a thing that says my Facebook stopped working. So give me a second. I'm hoping that's not true. And
Still says you're live on Facebook.
Okay, good. Because this one says, I'm sorry, Facebook stopped working. Well, we'll see what happens here. Let's see what happens. That's not what I want. Okay, so we're going to bring in 2 more people as soon as I get the link to pop up, and we'll get into there. Very good. We also have, let's see, why did it do that? Huh. Okay. It's doing that again. So I'll have to be patient with myself. But you know what? I know this person, and if it doesn't, they'll correct it. So hopefully we got 2 people coming in. Did I hit enter? Yes, I did. Pay attention. I took it to your inbox, you two lovely ladies, just so you know. All righty. Now remember to have your mics off and your video on. And LaRonda, you are now shifting into, I want you to do this, sweetheart. Your pain, you started to change physically. I don't think you can feel a difference yet, but I want you to understand that your triple warmer is going to keep holding that pain. Okay. So I need you to take and find this point on the back. You're going to end up doing both. All right. I need you to rub both of these. And this is where your brain, and you're going to do both sides 30 times, and you're going to do a couple rounds. This is where the brain says the nerves have been taxed and it hurts, it hurts, it hurts, it hurts. Okay. And that makes a lot of sense. So we have to help the body to stop doing that. And that is very important that you know you do not have to suffer. Now, she's done some major damage in the back, and it takes time for the body to heal. So this is where when the physical body has been hit, it will take time. But can we give her some, the injury? Can we help with that injury? Now, LaRonda, I can feel the self-imposed limitations that you put on yourself. I can't be, I have to be this. And your ego is telling you this is who you have to be. And you have to now own up to, like, do I need this part of my personality? The overtime hopelessness keeps coming back, and it's connected to the self-imposed. So when you get done rubbing this point a couple times, you're going to slide your fingers down 4, and then you're going to rub here 30 times both sides. And then when you're done with that, my love, you're going to go into the lung area where all those self-imposed issues are and the overtime hopelessness is, and you're going to hold the right wrist first position nice and deep. Okay, you got the instructions? All right, so, and keep observing and measuring your pain. Hi, Miss Vicky. Let me get your mic to work. And here we go.
There.
All right, how can I help you?
$1 million would help.
Me too. I'm not quite figured that out, but I know I'm getting there.
Okay, manifestation next week. I don't know. Things are going pretty good, but I'm still getting triggered here and there. So just you tell me, how's that?
All right. And yes, I can feel your life has improved quite a bit. You finally are taking care of that ego drain. You know, the thing we call life is we have to pay for shit to get where we need to go. So that's not as stressful and taxing. But I see an emotional repressed energy in the mental body, meaning that an emotion is stopping you from thinking a particular way. Okay. And as I look, it is created a personality that you have to be stubborn. Would you say that you're stubborn?
Who told you that?
The secret's out.
I want names.
Well, I will say you have to go talk to your 4-year-old because they know that they had to become stubborn because that's what you had to cope with. I mean, this is part of, when shit would come at you, you had to figure out how to soothe and cope with all of this crap. You've done very good. You stepped up to be that strong woman. That was the ideal part of what was for you, but you're discovering more of your authenticity. Now, this stubborn part of you is actually causing you to feel like you're not good enough and you're not doing it right. Okay. And it is a haunting thought because it is, how can I expand myself when I was taught that I'm not supposed to expand myself because what I want is wrong? Does this make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, now you're going to dive into it. Now, the adult you is like going, I'm going after that shit, so screw you, and I'm this, and I can do that. And you have expanded, but that little part of yourself is that you had to squelch down. I can't expand myself because something's going to happen. Yeah, you're ready. Your little girl just came up and just says, I am so ready. Okay. And I'm asking Spirit, where do you want her to begin with this? And they said, they want you to understand that the little girl first was looking at, I'm happy. And then where did it go? She doesn't know anything except for if she becomes happy, somebody's going to come and take it away. Now, you've had this conversation before with one of your parents, okay? But now we're going to begin to look at it. This is where you're going to dive just a little deeper. And when you're healing, then you're holding R2D, I don't know what that is, but the right wrist, number 2. Now you apparently need to make you laugh. You know, you're the jokester. Push in your thumb nice and deep. And I want you, though, to apply using one eye at a time. Observe and measure one eye at a time. Because there's the 2 parts of you that have been fighting inside have been, well, that's all I keep hearing. Well, and I need you to observe and measure. Is that, which eye are you choosing?
I'm looking out my right eye right now.
And when you look at how you had to become stubborn, and yet you still had to act and do what they asked you to do, and the lucky and the enjoyment is gone, because you know it's coming at any moment, even when your mouth's at the joyous point. What number do you see?
I'm having a hard time seeing it, but I'm starting to get some emotion in my chest. And as I look out my right eye, I'm feeling a 4.
Okay, now you're going to probably see it very significantly different. Now I want you to take that observation down to your chest. And now I want you to look out your left side. Look out your left eye, I mean. And as you look with your left eye, looking at your chest, at that feeling, what number do you see?
That's a 6.
Okay. And because you've been working on this is really good. Now, if I ask you to recognize the stubbornness in others, can you see how it stops you from really, either it stops you from being you, or you have to put on this persona that you have to be harder? This is a really deep one for her. She's been doing a lot of work.
Yes, and I've been noticing my projection onto others as being stubborn.
Good. There you go. Notice the number now.
It's still a 6.
Okay.
Maybe 7.
Okay, because I feel the body is like wanting to hold you in, I don't want to say the word strangulation, but it's that twisting, tight feeling.
It's frustration. It's
okay. There you go. And notice that you have to pull your energy in, because this is where ego is telling me, okay, so this is where your ego and your spirit mind are fighting. Well, Brenda says it's my fault. That's what the ego says. Spirit says, no, it is my projection. This is what's happening. But your ego is going, yeah, but most of the time I live here. Can you feel the argument? You want to blame yourself.
well,
You want to blame them. You feel the frustration because it's not changing. Does this make sense?
yeah, what goes on with me is I know I'm stubborn, but you made me stubborn. Like
There you go.
I'm right. You know, it's like I'm not giving in.
Good. Notice the number, because you got the words now.
Okay, it's 8 out the left eye.
Okay, now switch it over to the right and look to the upper upper left. See what the difference between the upper left is and the upper right. So when you looked into the right to the upper left, what number is it?
A 4 to 5.
Okay. Now you go ahead and play. You know how to switch your eyes every now and then. Just play and heal, okay? Now I'm going to go to Kelly real quick. And Kelly, how are you?
Pretty staying pretty steady at a 7, 6, 7.
Now notice that the part of you just don't know how to deal with the thing that won't allow it come down, and that is there's a certain awkward feeling. If you can find the right word to describe that feeling, then we can then tap in deeper. So they want you to go to R1S and see if you can ball it up and let it go. Start to use your imagination. As you start to let certain things go, notice that this was your safety. As we go back just a little further, and you have to put yourself in the position that got you to this end result. Was there a certain amount of action that was required from you? Or at least it felt like you always had to match or take action by what you heard all the time?
Yes, I mean, I think this stems from being in an abusive relationship where you were always on guard.
There you go. Now notice that there's a certain amount of awkward of actually, I can't say or be myself. Is this correct?
Yes.
Okay, now here's the scary part, and that is notice that you disconnected in order to survive.
Yep.
Now, are you okay? Are you okay to go to that disconnection? And can you see?
Yes.
Okay, good. Now, when you're looking at it, can you see how you're so tired of being invalidated?
Yeah.
There you go. You got it. Now, put that on a scale from 0 to time, because this is always overtime hopelessness. This is what it is. Always. I heard the word. That's a what number you got?
8.
All right, that's where you're staying. And Autumn, how are you doing? Because I feel like you feel like you've moved into the position that you're tired. Part of your cue, your birdie, is you're accused. You're constantly accused. And
in one way or another.
Right. And then even if you don't, and if they're not accusing you directly, there's these gestures, like, you understand?
Yeah.
Which one bothers you most, the gestures or hearing it? It could be both.
It is.
They look pretty even.
It depends upon who it is.
Okay. Notice it's written in your heart. It's like, and this is where we can't help but want to put up walls. Okay. So if you're ready to do this, take your left wrist, first position, push in deep, my dear, and feel what we were just talking about. Accused.
Thank you. The ADHD.
No problem. No problem. Okay, LaRonda, sweetheart, how are you doing? Oh, it's not working. Let me get it here. Okay, there you go.
I'm doing better, I believe. Not with pain, but with the scale from.
Okay, so now once we take the emotion, once we start taking that off, it should stop producing the chemicals that are creating the amount of pain on top of the injury. So let me just double check to see where you're at. You did come down, thank God. But was there something that you wanted? Like, did you want a day off, or did you want to do something else and yet you had to do this particular thing and you just like, I didn't want to do it?
I'm kind of fighting with myself. Like, I take pride in my job.
Okay. Yeah.
So if I'm going to do my job, I want to do it 100%.
Exactly.
But then again, it's like I feel sick going to work knowing I can't do nothing more than what I'm doing.
Oh,
so when you said I'm hard on myself, that is it. I'm trying to improve, but with my hands tied from the company, I can't improve much more.
Okay. Notice the fight. Notice the activism. Notice the restraints that I can't do more. It is something that you believed as about 3 years old that I can't do more. I'm restricted. Can you see how that is on anything when you were growing up physically? Because it's on a physical aspect. And can you share any of that? Or because it feels like injustice that was born from that moment. I can't go out and play. I can't do this because I have
That's when I couldn't breathe when I was a kid and I had asthma. I stayed in the house in bed all day.
Okay, so now you're recreating at the age right now what it was when you were little. They want you to address the injustice, because you're going to keep seeing that I can't do anything about it, but there's this injustice. Before we can go back and to really heal, there's this injustice. You had come to the conclusion of thinking that, and that's where you feel very insecure in things. So you're going to hold R3S. Okay, LaRonda?
Thank you.
You're welcome, honey. Now put it on the scale from 0 to 10 and know that truth that's not real. It's a false truth. It's what you experienced, which was real, but you can move forward. Now, I'm not sure what's happening to the other person that is paid. I'm not seeing them. So, okay, I'll just wait until she, because I've already wrote to her. Let's see what happens. Now, the yawning is important because that's a form of energy movement. So be proud that it's moving. Don't judge yourself. Begin to notice that's normal. Now, Vicki, allow the argument. Allow the argument. It's so important. Just allow the argument. Very, very important. Allow the argument, because the more you sit in your hells while you're using a healing tool, the faster result you'll get. And this healing tool is called Hope Therapy, and it works with the traditional Chinese medicine pulse points. And what it does is that you're able to use the OMG, the frontal lobe, which creates your reality, and the way the blood, when you're stressed, 80% of it leaves your blood, will leave your forebrain and go into fight, flight, freeze, fawn. Okay, but when you do the combination of this tool, working on intention of what we're focusing, then yes, stay in your health. Because as soon as you try to think positive when you're using this tool, you're not doing yourself any good. But most of you will run around and you won't use any tools, and you'll just and you'll start to hardwire your brain, which hardwires your body, and you have this memorization in all of your cells, and you're doomed to repeat. So we're trying to do our best to help you take action and go from try to do and to achieve. So we need to become awake, aware, and take action. Okay? It's very important that we do this. Now, like, if anybody else wants to come in the room, you're more than welcome to. There is this, just pay. If you can't get my attention through the talking or asking a question, I may not get to them, but you can come here and get to the pay. Okay, so you go to PayPal, take care of that. It's $23. Make sure you have Zoom. It doesn't need a password. I'll give you the link. If you know me personally, contact me. I will, once I know you've paid, I will send you the link. Otherwise, go to the fan page and we do it in that. So we're going to wait to see where they're at. And
Can you hear me?
yeah. What do you need there, Evelyn?
You know what's coming up is a confusion between when I'm actually being stubborn and when I'm being accused of being stubborn just because I'm standing in my power, and
Good
where
job.
that what is really stubborn and what is really just me standing up for myself.
You're going to switch to R3S. And this is the thing that I came with too, was that I realized people that are narcissistic, even if they're just as narcissistic a little bit, would use the word stubborn because they were pissed they couldn't control me. And I said, you know what? I'm proud of the fact that I am stubborn. I'm doing it right. Now, I'm not stubborn because I'm not changing. Now, there is the stubbornness that you do to yourself and you refuse to change. But then there is the accusation that people throw at you just so they can piss you off so you'll do what they want.
Yeah, and that's what I'm fighting with myself right now is, am I really being stubborn, or are you causing me to be stubborn? And then at what point am I being stubborn just to be stubborn, if that makes sense?
Oh, it totally does. This is all of this mass confusion that happens, but they're meaning and truths in each one of these.
Yeah,
So Go ahead.
there was a lot of gaslighting in my family, or if you didn't agree with them, then you were stubborn. And even now at 58 years old, being at my dad's house, if I don't agree with the way he thinks, I'm stubborn or I'm stupid.
Right,
He
right.
taught me better. So it
There you go. You're doing good. Autumn, switch over to the L2S for you and just feel under pressure. Feel it. Because it refuses to allow your energy to move. And that's why your body wants to jump. Just feel under pressure. It's like, for instance, what do they want you to do? Behave a certain way, act a certain way, become something?
More behave and act.
There you go. So you've got it. I'm looking
More
at you.
behave and act.
Right where you were looking, slap that up there and look at that. L2S. Okay, nice and soft. Both of them. You can think both of them. You can think both. Okay, you can do this, sweetheart. You can do this the best way you can. The best way you can. LaRonda, how are you doing?
I think I'm getting there.
Yeah, I can feel total relief, especially up the spine. We want more of that. Now, the area is bruised. That's going to be a natural time thing that your body does because it's innate. It knows its job. I've got this. But now we're moving the head and the mental and emotional side, and you are starting to break the habit. It's just that I want you to feel that the outside manipulates you, and you don't see it. And then, do you know what I mean?
Yes.
Some of it you see, and some of it you see, and some of it you don't see. Okay. So you are also going to again hold R1D. That's the lung area because it's really sitting there, and it's like, just hold it. You know what I'm talking about. Okay.
Oh.
And we have, let's see, I think another person is paid. Yes, so we're going to bring her in as soon as I get it, and then I got to find out about the other person. Really? She says she's not able to get in. All right, we'll try it again.
tell her to type the Zoom link number in manually.
Okay, I'll do that. Thank you. All right, so type in Zoom number manually and see what happens. Okay. Again, we don't have to worry, and I don't have to let ego come in and make me worry and fear at any of this stuff that I'm not doing right. I am doing exactly how Spirit wants me to do this, and the more ego I become, the more I'll separate myself from my true purpose. So the whole point is becoming your spiritual self.
I will be right back. I gotta go get a magnet. My arm's starting to hurt.
Oh, sweetheart, you go ahead. You go ahead. Okay, I'll just mute you, and that's fine. So we have Amanda coming in, and let's see if we can get the other person. Oh, she hasn't seen it. Hope she didn't go away.
Okay, I'm still stuck. I'm still stuck on if I'm invalid, then why not disconnect?
Oh my God, that's beautiful. Did you hear how you came to a decision? And
Yeah.
it is, and you dropped that
That's
feeling.
where I'm
Good job. And I want you to do R3D. You have thought about this so much, and this is what's driven you so far into depression, but you know what the bad result is when you go too far in depression. And you can almost dream about how you just wish you could. You know exactly where you're going. Good job.
Yep.
My little girl, it's getting worse.
Okay.
And she's saying, I am not giving in.
Okay. Now you are
I know for sure it's not fair.
All right. You need to talk to her and understand that that is her safety net. But is it true for her? And she has a very, very specific picture. Okay. And they said that It's what she did towards herself in order to survive. And she's got to be willing to be okay to look at this hidden screaming that would happen to her. So what kind of fighting matches did you have with said family members? Because I feel like there's a badgering. I feel like that there's always this, you know, as a child, she's not going to be able to. And so she has every right to feel that way. And so that's just how she survived. Now you're going to go with her and you're going to give her the strength to stand up to said family member, okay? Because in her mind, she can only predict by jumping to conclusions. So if you can look at how the little girl is just jumping to conclusions, yep, there's a sign there, but there, do you understand? She's jumping to conclusions. So get in there and you've got it. Now, Vicki, make sure you go to R2S, and notice that the piece has been displaced no matter what. Now go and talk to her and see what you can do. Amanda, are you having trouble with your, oh, there you are, sweetheart. Gotcha. Excellent, excellent. Okay. Now, make sure your mic comes on when you get a chance to find the comfortable place where you can be safe. Oh, no, she disappeared. I don't know how to get a hold of the other girl. Shoot. I'll have to balance that out later then. Oh, you did wonderful, Amanda. No big deal. I just was back reading. So now, Amanda, you get tricked in by people's emotions. They will give you the sob stories to pull you in, and you have to give them something, and it gets draining. Yes.
Yeah, I pretty much, my parents, the past 2 days, they just keep like stuck me back into being the mediator again. And I just, how do I prevent myself from being pulled into other people's dramas?
Okay, that's exactly right, because you fight yourself. You're moving to the stage of trying to breathe and be Amanda. So we're going to help you so you don't feel like your heart's breaking. So you're going to go to L1D.
Okay.
And that is what the L1D. Okay, left wrist, first position, or deep. And if you hold this, I want you to notice it is this feeling. You don't want to disappoint them. You don't want to break their heart. You love them. You don't want this to happen, but you're being torn apart. You can feel. There you go. And notice the fear of how you're not sure. Do you understand? You're not sure how to stop this, how to pull out of it, because it just doesn't make sense. I love them. And doesn't that mean I have to? No, you do not have to have that much sympathy. This is what's called being oversympathetic. And Autumn, oops. Did you forget what you needed to work on?
No, I'm actually doing. I have the magnet right here.
Oh, excellent, excellent.
And then I have my hands. My hands are actually flipped.
You're great. You're great.
And then I can put
So take a look at what she's done. People say, well, I can't do this. Now, this is a beautiful woman. I resolve, I'm doing this, and I found a way. So good job to listen to spirit. Okay?
What'd she do? I missed it.
Oh, could you repeat it? Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I can pull it up. So I have anybody, if you don't mind me, Brenda.
No, go ahead.
Anybody who's had a stroke, I realize how hard it is to get your body to do things that you want it to do. One thing that Brenda has told me about is putting a bandana on, like you would just anywhere, hanging out, and then take a magnet and put it inside, right where you would put your hand. Because, like I said, I do realize I see it every day for even myself.
Yep. So she has put that in there.
And then what I do is hold the point. So basically I have this point, but I'm holding it down. So it's easier for me to hang on to.
Exactly. Comfortability. And so you're doing really well. Now I'm going to see how that's working, and it's working great. So keep doing it. Good job, Autumn. And thank you so much for sharing that, love.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Back. Okay. Oops, I've got to get the mic. All right, darling. How can I help you?
Okay, so for me at the moment, I just have a sore back, and I just think that that's a little bit of stress because I'm holding Jordan and trying to work this out. But it's actually Jordan that needs a bit of assistance, if that's okay. He's come in with a temperature. They
Oh,
said
no
that
problem.
they said gastro is going around, so it's a possibility that that might be happening with him. But I just thought if there were some points we could rub for him to bring him back to life.
Absolutely. Now, here's the thing. We're going to ask Spirit, why was this necessary for Jordan to do this? And there is a certain amount of negative energy on a collective whole. This is why you'll see a lot of flus and a lot of things come through, because people's level of consciousness is that's where they're at, and they're more prone to it. For him, the energy that's coming through is that irrelevancy. I'm irrelevant. My voice doesn't matter. All of these things are very legit.
It makes sense because lately we've been building a new structure with him of discipline because he is very dominant.
Okay.
And tries to overthrow his siblings and be more stronger than them. And we've noticed this, and Daniel and I have taken our power back off him being that way and are now flipping the script a bit. And so he may be feeling a bit powerless because he's not getting his way.
Absolutely, because children, when they're very narcissistic, they will look at a particular outcome and they will want it, and they don't understand why they can't get it. Okay. And it's about changing behaviors. I'm going to change yours before you change mine. And when you take someone that comes in with a very dominant strength, like may have less fear, they're just fearless. Well, the problem with that is it can get them into a whole heck of a lot of trouble. And if they don't know how to soothe that feeling, okay. And so now when I'm looking at him, you also have to watch out for the next thing that happens. Now, this is, again, if it's not curbed when as a child, it will look very much like this an adult. They'll keep coming to you with a problem. They'll keep coming to you, or they know you're going to get yelled at. They will go into a physical sickness. Okay, they got to figure out some way to dominate and have the power, because the last thing they want is rejection. They hate rejection.
Oh,
and
yes.
So as soon as they start to feel any type of that separation from your love or from love itself, which they don't understand, it's the connection with spirit that's broken. It's not broken, it's just that they can't feel it. So they're looking outside themselves to get it.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So jumping, screaming, and throwing his weight around, and not necessarily his body weight, but throwing his energetic weight around, thinking that that's what how he's gonna get what he wants. So now he's gone into a physical sickness because we've noticed, and we're flipping it around. Is that what you mean?
Yep. Again, it's another way of trying to figure out how to cope, handle, and deal, and to get what I want. And he's going through a lot of injustice right now. So if I'm asking spirit, what would be the best thing to do? And they said, if you're just going to hold him like that, the one thing you can do, because he can't help but to jump to the next conclusion. He's developing that RTJP, which is the right temple junction parietal lobe, which is about to think what other people think. So he's learning. Exactly. And what you don't want to disrupt it, because it's going to cause a broken child. And then it's hard to heal a broken, but it's not hard. It's just steps. So he's thinking it. He's going to be constantly thinking of it. Yeah. And, just give him love and pet, just pet if you need to, okay. And just soothe and give love. Okay, now that's one thing you can continuously do so they can feel it. The other thing that you're going to do is that we're going to start to see, the thing is I was asking his body, because it's all about consciousness permissions. So I was asking the body, what can we? And it's like, because it's expecting a certain result. Okay, so that means you got to show up differently, but you don't want to take love away. That is just something we've always done in the past, was we're so frustrated. So he needs to feel safe, which is what he's doing. And yep, so now I want you to just sit with that. I want you to feel what's going on and just hold that position and measure it in your mind. And I will get back to you in just a second. We're going to go over to Amanda real quick because, sweetheart, your thumb is getting tired, but I also want you to give yourself, now, which point was I having you hold?
L1D.
Now, and here's the thing, you got to be able to stretch your thumb. So one of the things when it gets tight is that I always grab my finger like this and I just kind of just shake it. Now, sometimes you may hear it pop, which means allows the energy to flow through, which is a good thing. You know, allow it to come through. And now notice that I'm going to have you look at how overbearing the energy is that comes to you. Do you understand? It just gets you. And this is where it changes your mindset and you start to automatically behave and you're not knowing that you don't have the power of control. And so they said that you're going to have to, once your thumb is not so bad, maybe not pushing it as too hard because we can hit 2 pulses at once. Maybe go push in the L2D. Again, so LTD, left wrist, second position, but push in, you know, don't kill it, but slightly set it off so that you don't put so much pressure on that. And
Okay.
you can even do one more thing. If you feel like you're having to do that, what you can then do is take like a small stone, a pebble or something like that, put in that position and try to hold that in place. It'll create a little extra pressure there.
Okay.
And I've even taken my bracelets, my thick bands, and put a stone in it and moved it around and then put pressure. So there's another way to do hope therapy. And that could be also for you, Autumn, too, in the future. You know, just have a regular band that has snaps and you can put the stone anywhere you want. Okay, so when you're ready, L2D, Amanda, and feel that overbearing where it just puts you to sleep. It just, and you're caught up and you don't even know you're doing it because this is your autopilot.
Yeah, I do notice how drained I feel after communicating with them.
Good. Notice drain is the thing, but feel
Yeah.
that afterwards, and that you're going to attract a lot of people that are nice and sweet and loving and come to you and talk, but then all of a sudden you'll feel drained afterwards. It's not your job to save them. You got to get that in your head.
I know.
Now, the only way you really can get it in your head is you have to deal with that emotion.
Okay.
That emotion that comes at you. So at L2D, do your best to measure it. You know, like I said, if it's just too hard, you know, do a couple little tricks for your wrist there, and you can get it. Now, Beck, you're getting down. Can you feel the difference in the shifting? Okay, good. And just kind of hold it a little bit longer, okay? Because he's recycling those 41 thoughts per minute you're doing. Kelly, sweetheart, what's going on, babe?
I feel like it's gone down. The dogs distracted me. I had to take them off, bring them back in.
Oh, okay. And how do you feel now, though, when you really think about, like, you were just feeling a certain oomph, nah, I don't even want to call it. But that's been your identity, which is not your true one. But you do feel a little different, right?
I do.
Okay.
I do.
Now, what I'm looking at is how there's pain that your child part of you interprets from them, the people you love. It hurt. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Now, notice how you've taken it personal. Notice how the pain is that you feel like you're going to die because somebody would deliberately take their love away and make you feel the lack of love. Does that make sense? All right, so you're ready to dive into that. That's what your body says. Hold L1D, get in there and start pulling it out of the heart. Okay, measure it. Autumn, how you doing, hon?
Pretty good.
Now,
my specificity's getting to me a little bit, but
yeah, and begin to notice that you don't feel like you did when you came on. Okay, all right. And so she can measure the distance. She's not done, but we're going to help her body just a little bit so that it can readjust to do the healing that she needs to do. And so this is what's called the source point. And we're going to have you at this point, both sides, the left. So you're going to take and hold up one finger, and that'll be your left hand. Okay, can you
Okay.
look? Okay, so now when you
Oh.
do this, you're going to touch and manipulate. Now you can get a pen or you can use your fingernail, and I'm going to need little dots, I swear to God. Let me write it here. You see that black point on my finger?
Oh yeah.
That's the size. Get in there and good. Get in there and manipulate it. Breathe it through, then do it about 30 times and stop. And then do it again. Now, Vicky, how are you?
Yeah, this has been my little girl. She feels that stubbornness is the only thing that ever protected her, and it's her power.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
if she gives it up, she's powerless.
Right.
Because that's the strong part of her, is that stubbornness.
Right. And that was her coping tool, and that's her safety blanket. We never take those. So you're going to go to do one more thing. Okay. And that is you're going to go into
It's
R2D, and you're going to listen to what she says. And she says, they get to me. They just get to me. You know, you got to really get into that feeling, because they manipulate. You can feel the gaslighting. You're going to allow yourself to see the gaslighting and allow yourself to feel how you are meant to be deprived. Listen to the little girl. And we lost LaRonda, and she probably was done. But I'm going to just see if she can give me a feedback if she can't come in. And then I can read it. Or come back in. Okay, so hopefully she'll see that and we can go from there. Now, there you go. It's important that we really get, this is my shit, and then you feel the difference. Now you just shift back, and this is her working with another human being, and I feel like he's calmer. I don't feel like
he was an 8 when we started. Then he was a 5 when you asked me before. He's at about a 3, 2, 3 now.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
he's really
he doesn't
relaxed.
know how in here he's arguing. He doesn't know what he's supposed to do. So this is where the towards self gets born. But at the same time, he's going through and he's thinking about timid. Okay? And if you can hold that image for him too, to some degree, and just, kind of keep working there and process it out. You got Reiki, so you can process that out. Let's sit there and understand where he's at. All right. Who wants to talk to me? If you all are in your thing of healing, that's good. We'll just keep you there. That's fine. I'd like to know about feedback in the room as well. How are we doing? How are we doing? And let me get the screen up bigger. So there's only, if you know people that need healing, then you go ahead and share this. If you know, are you learning? This is not tribal. This is my Thursday show. This is a healing show. This is Heal Instead of Deal. This is an opportunity for people that don't have a lot of money. It's an opportunity that you can use the tools that you can get in because you can't afford a private session. And this is then a way for you to give back and a place where you can heal. Okay. So it's an opportunity for growth. People get to see real live interactions, healings, what's going on inside the mind. People are going to relate to you. You're doing a service. We're helping to change collective. Okay. Oh, thank you, Gemma. Again, if you can find healing groups and that will accept it, do not cross the line, find out their rules. And I feel like in a way we need to start one of those groups that bring healers in and just do that so we can really connect. And I feel like I would like to do that as at some point. Okay. If anybody else wants to come in, then there is, if you know me personally, you can tell me that you're paying or you've paid. This is how you pay. It's $23. There's no limit. So you really get to get in there deep. Connect with what's going on. Find your experiences. Now, all of you are doing pretty good. Now, Autumn, you have shifted from what I can see that you're ready. Now, can you feel how your body is just a tiny different? Because they said you got to start noticing, is we got to train the brain to start to want something different other than what you knew when it came to the stroke.
Yeah. No, I have noticed. My, if you don't mind me explaining what spasticity is.
Yeah, go ahead.
People who do not understand what spasticity is, it is a condition that basically puts you in a clamp and you shut it as tight and then hold it as tight as you possibly can. If you've ever known what, not the actual snake, but what a snake bite is, that's another term that I've heard. And if I don't take various medications, I am somewhat like a stone, which is not the most comfortable. And then I also deal with MI, which is also not another fun thing to deal with.
And notice that they are all restrictions. Her nervous system, everything is communicating in this fashion. And as I'm looking, it says that I have to live their way. And the really biggest thing is why does her body, her soul saying that this is what's happening? And they're going on to you only know what discouraged was.
Yeah.
So you're discouraged to be you, you're discouraged to try this, you're discouraged. And that's one of the big words that's followed you from a past life, as well as a genetic life. That means many of your family members know how to dish out discouragement, how to be discouraged themselves. Okay, so you know exactly. So I'm going to ask her, how do we want to help her do this? And they said, you need to begin to hold L2S because it's a have to. It's not something that you have a choice of. Okay, so you're really going to understand that it has to do, it's a have to in the discouragement, because this is displaced energy of an emotion called discouraged that is not meant to be found in the gallbladder. Discouragement is meant to be found in the large intestine, but the energy went in and got trapped in her gallbladder, regardless if she had one or not. It got trapped and the energy needs to get out. And the only way to do it that I've known is this one that works very efficiently. So there you go. You're tapped into it nicely.
And I still have the magnet in my bandana.
Yes, and I love that. Thank you. Now I'm going to ask if she needs. No, you got that in correctly. And a lot of times that people will say, well, how do you know what's the right side to do for it? Now, if it's the one that's going to stick usually to the refrigerator, that's the side you normally would put in towards the forehead. Now, sometimes there could be a difference. And down the road, we're going to teach classes where it has to do with finding the north side and the south side of a magnet so that you can then use how to help yourself even more. Now, Beck, you have just shifted and you're aware of it. Now we're going to, is he sleeping?
Sure is. And his whole body, as soon as I hit him with Reiki, his whole body was like twitch, 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 just like a little worm.
Good. It's balancing. And I'm going to ask Spirit, do you want him to? So we are going to do source points, but I may have to give them to you later because if he's in a good sleeping state, that means he's already beginning to heal.
Yeah.
But if he seems to not have changed the any of the symptoms, then we'll give points so that body can start to repair. Now, did your daughter begin to repair quickly after you started to?
100%. She had a little bit of a sore throat the next day, but it grew out. It was gone. Josh woke up with this morning, so I'm going to rub his points after I'm done with Jordan. But yeah, definitely.
Okay. Good. We can shorten the time of how we have to go through those collective crap and on the physical level faster. So I feel like you're ready to go and put him and take care of him. And so thank you so much for coming on and sharing, and you're a blessing. Thank you very much, dear. Okay.
Thank you.
Talk to you later. All right, bye, honey.
Bye.
Okay. So hopefully you're all getting this. Now, Vicki, is your little girl trusting you more now?
Um, it's she's telling me that don't you understand? And it's not just my little girl; it's a teenager too. I think that they're trying to protect me from this. That they're actually angry with me for stepping out because being vulnerable will get you hurt, and that's sort of the argument is.
And
What
that's what ego mindset does. It's their anxiety. You don't feel the anxiety as the adult as much as those ages of you do. And so the anxiety is actually what's speaking. It is the ego mindset of those. And so I'm going to have you hold R2S. And again, they know how to keep jumping to conclusions and feel their anxiety. So give yourself permission to say, okay, talk to them. Where's your anxiety? Do this healing. See if they do it. They're trying very hard to keep themselves safe.
Yes.
And again, we're not taking away their safety blanket. We're helping them heal so that the safety blanket will just disappear. So Amanda, darling, how are you?
I feel very relaxed, but then I start getting like, I start picturing my childhood and like the constant.
I was just going to say it's in the picture. So cover one eye for me. So when you're looking at it, see, this is where your body predicts, because this is what's all you've known most of your life. And as you look at it, I want you to look through the that eye, which is what, your left eye?
Yeah.
Okay, you're going to look to the lower left, and I want you to hear that dialogue. Just focus on that dialogue that you were going, yeah, but this, what about this? Da, 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 da. Going on and on and on and on. Okay.
Okay.
Look at it. What number is it? You can hear it. You're like, ah.
It's a 10.
All right, keep looking, keep looking. Remove, transcend, let it go, let it go, let it go. Look to the lower right with that eye. Feel the feeling of it, that pull, that, there it is. God, ooh, wow, it makes me want to be nauseous. Ooh, this is where all of a sudden I feel the pull, like I can't stop myself. I can remove, transcend, let it go, let it go, let it go. Look to the upper left and remember all the times. Remember all the times that you maybe have stopped. There you go, sweetheart. Just breathe, breathe. Remove, transcend, let it go, let it go. Switch eyes. Just cover up the other eye. Now look in that same direction, which was the upper left. There you go. It's not as strong, is it? You're about ready to cry, and all of a sudden your body's like, wait, what? What number is it now?
A 6.
And it feels different, don't it?
Yeah.
All right, so now we're going to just remove, transcend. I want you to look that eye to the lower right for me. Feel the body. Like, I don't think it's anxiety. It's agitated or it's fluttery. Do you know what I mean? The physical.
Yeah, it's like and like anticipation.
Yes, there you go. There you go. There you go. What number is it?
5.
Now notice that you have to do this with everybody, including your family, everywhere. Remove, transcend, let it go, let it go, let it go. Switch eyes. Now remember you had your eye up to the upper left. What number is it now?
6.
Now stare at it and just stare at it. Does it have to be true?
No.
It may be them, it's their program, but do I need to give that response? Is it true that I have? There you go. Now look to the lower left and listen to that self-talk where you had to convince yourself, da, 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 this is what it is. You're trying to cope, handle, and deal. Feel it, feel it, feel it. It doesn't even feel the same as you did a few. What is it now when you look at it?
Like a 5, maybe a 4.
Yeah, just look at it. And it's like, is it true? Do I really have to convince myself, push myself, do this? Remove, transcend, let it go, let it go, let it go. Look, switch eyes and then take that eye and look to the upper right. And notice how you have to reconstruct. Okay, well, if I do this, and this is where you run with down your timeline and you have to recreate it until you hurt your own feelings.
Yeah.
Okay, keep running there. And as soon as you get to the end, you hurt your feelings, remove that, come back, start the picture again. Keep doing it. Now look to the lower left. There are the instructions still there that you have to do that.
No.
Good. Now look back up to the upper right. And do you need to use your imagination in that way?
No.
Good. Remove, transcend, let it go, let it go. Switch eyes. What number do you have now?
2.
2. And it's totally feeling different, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then you're looking at it and you know it's still there. Remove, transcend, let it go, let it go, let it go. Switch eyes. What do you got there?
It feels like a 2, but it's like less intense.
Good.
Like there's an intensity difference between the sides.
I'm so proud of you. Good job. Not only is she pulling a number, but she can see the scale of the intensity of that number. That's huge. She's ready to go to the lower left and look at it. And is there anything there, instructions saying you have to do this? Now, I do hear a voice as if it's a parent, a family member that's telling you, yes, you do, young lady. Okay.
Yeah, I was still at a 1. That voice was there.
How about if you take and you just take him and kick him out of your head? Say,
Okay.
I love you, but, and then take and love you and so you're going to imagine you're grabbing a golden white light cord above your head, connect one end to your heart, extend it out to them and say, please accept this as I kick you out of my head. I'll take the wisdom, but no more instructions. And as you do, the gestures, everything disappear. And now switch eyes. What number do you have when you're looking and before it in any direction? Look around in any direction. Is there any number?
I don't feel it. A number? Like my mind wants to be like a half. And I'm like, I don't feel it though.
Right. So your body is trying to tell you that you got to hang on because it's scared. Well, what if it happens again? This is where we've taken the wisdom. We're going to ask Spirit to preserve all the necessary learnings and the wisdom and put them in that special place where all learnings go inside of you. And then now I want you to feel empowered. Remember when I said you could see their pattern? I want you to feel empowered. So, and now you've switched eyes, deliberately cover up the other eye because we got to make sure we can understand if there's anything left in the other eye. So there you go. Any intensities, anything at all?
No.
Good. Now, I want you to just sit there and I want you to put your hands on your hips this time. Okay. I want you to be Wonder Woman. I want you to smile with your chin up and allow that frequency of the oxytocins. Allow the energy to come into the body. Allow the strange flows to kick in. And when you know it, because you're going to start to feel a little giggle, you're going to feel this little sensation of empowerment and your wisdom is going to start to come in. And the innate wisdom is going to connect. It's starting to already. I even feel you now coming into your body. I can feel your feet. I can feel them touching the floor, wherever your body is, wherever your feet are. I can feel all that. And then wait until you get the giggle. Just feel the giggle. Then when you start to get it, good. Now you got it. Put your
I try to hold that back.
Yeah, good. Put your fingers on your forehead and your belly button. Push in and lift up and give it a smile again. Feel that just vroom, vroom, vroom. Your egg just getting stronger, bigger, and stronger, stronger, and stronger. And notice it'll stay there. And then it has boundaries. And you have the ability now, and you'll test yourself with your old habit that you can say a new thing. You can take your hands down now and you'll start to notice. So we're going to say, thank you, Spirit, bringing in Spirit. And when they start to do that, have you tried this? Have you done that? Oh my gosh, I got diarrhea. I got to go. I don't care if you lie. The point is you need to allow them to break that habit. And they have to grow up and learn how to soothe themselves, going to a new direction. Okay. They have to decide, is this energy here? We're into this new era. You're moving in this way vibrationally. They need to grow with you. And if we try to keep showing up that way, and if they say that they want to stay where they are, you have to accept the fact that's what they want to do, but do not hold yourself back. Okay. But you can bring in new wisdom and you can bring in new way of speaking that you've never done before. So just allow yourself to download. And good job, Amanda. And thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right. So you feel like you're done and you're complete?
Yes.
All right. Thank you, darling. And you know what? You honored me, you honored yourself, and you've honored those that are watching. So thank you for being a blessing and paying that forward. Thank you.
Yes. Thank you.
All right. Stay blessed. We'll talk to you later.
All right,
bye. Okay. Kelly, real quick, how are you? You know what? I see an
feel
smile.
good. Yeah.
You feel different. So tell me about what's the difference. How do you know it? Need you to witness.
The emotion I let go from my body where it was. I could feel it in the throat. I felt it and that's where I was trying to ball it up and throw it away. Moved to the chest, moved down, then it stayed down in the lower belly.
Mm-hmm.
And I finally was just let it go. I asked Archangel Raziel to come and transmute.
Good.
And then it was everything just kind of
Yeah. It is different, really feels different. Now you're going to have to start to practice something you haven't had in a while. And that is you're going to have to practice smiling with your chin up. So you can start producing these oxytocins that are very unfamiliar to you. Now, I'm going to tell you how you really make them. And they really just feed you. Like when I'm watching you with Vicky, I'm watching you. And the next thing I know, I'm watching that beautiful energy of spirit come through. But the oxytocin allows the safety of your intuition to develop. And so if you have to recall how good you felt doing that, not the scared parts, but you didn't really show that you're really good. Feel it. Feel that, think about Vicky then, because sometimes when you and Vicky get together, you're just like, wow. And it's because of vibration rises. Hey, there you go. See, look at the memories. Look at that. That's what I need to practice.
Okay.
And you're going to empower yourself even more. So get into your Wonder Woman position and allow that. Now, I want you to allow that feeling everywhere. And then when you see these people coming, they match, take their energy away from you and all of this, and they're draining, feel the Wonder Woman energy just bounce off your body. Now she's got it. She's already there. She's got it. Excellent. Wait until the giggle comes. Just because I really want you to feel there. You got it. Now go ahead and give me a finger in the belly button and the forehead. Push in, lift up. And I want you to take snapshots of these wonder enjoyments of feeling. Love. That's you. That's you. Got it? Stop trading her.
Yes.
You don't have to do it anymore. Okay. Excellent. And did you feel, and as long as you felt like you felt the difference and you know that you feel better, then I will say that I can actually let you go.
Yes, and actually I will say to anyone else that helps, if you figure out what your dominant clair is or your dominant sense is, or you feel the stress, focus on that to get rid of the actual feelings. Because if I just tried to think about the emotion in my head, I'm not going to get it all the way transmuted because I really feel the emotion in my body. So I have to really feel it. When you say feel it to heal it, truly tap into how you resonate with that pain the most for it to finally.
Exactly. Because we are that sensory being and we do have dominant ones. And I'm very proud of you. Thank you for your voice, because now you're going to help more and more people. I appreciate you coming in and being that, what do you call it? Not a guinea pig,
Voice.
not a display, not a what? A what?
Voice.
A voice. Yes, be the voice. Yes, your personality. Your love,
Being vulnerable.
And you know what? You're being vulnerable without having to be hurt. And that's the best authenticity you can be, is to stand in the ring without having to have fear tell you that you're a lie, because that's bullshit. Be strong, girl. Okay, well, we'll talk to you later, and thank you so much. All right. So we totally appreciate all these people that are coming. And just so that you know, LaRonda's phone died. And that's why she had to leave, because she's, oh my God, my phone died. But she says, I fell asleep too. She was in pain. This person was in pain. And now she fell asleep, her phone died, and she's feeling better. Now this, again, she had slipped and fell, hurt her back, right? In the middle of the lower back. And it was, she sent me a picture and everything else. I didn't see any broken bones. But now the body is starting to repair. And so now she's able to rest. So she'll keep in touch with me. So now talk to Vicky real quick, and then we'll talk to Autumn. Well, wait, we'll stop just for that. Vic or Autumn, I need you to go to R3S because your body is trying to rev up.
Okay.
Unworthy, because
Oh,
okay, you got it, you got it. Okay, Miss Vicky.
I'm gonna have to do more work on this because this is tied into so many things as I'm
Yes.
going through, and it is major heart walls, like where it's literally painful for them.
Yeah.
That
Exactly. So you're gonna make sure you'll do L1D, but you're also going to have to do L3D because this is part of the things you had to do and develop from that point. There's a fear, there's a whining, there's a the dread, and those would became such an identity markers for you. Okay. And
Yeah.
if you go back and forth and look at these walls, then you'll start to notice the mask that you had to put on, and more of your old patterns will start to fall away because you'll take that power back and you'll move into the direction of becoming a healthier person. Does this make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Because I can already see you at the end results of being very magnificent and marvelous, more than you already are. And let's get you to be into that spirit space that you need to be, because being the spiritual human is the next thing. I know you don't want to go backwards. You says, hell, I was there. I kept going backwards. You're done. That's the attitude. You're done. So, but you're feeling the difference.
Yeah. Oh gosh, just from all of the yawning and the phlegm and just like all of a sudden all this phlegm and like blowing my nose a lot and stuff. I was like, oh.
We have a lot of toxins that we get just from holding dread and pending doom. All of the safety protocols they take our energy force and they don't allow health to flow through. So as you're starting to move and help and give that child a voice inside in your own head. Now, if we were doing a one-on-one session, it's a completely different story because people would be able to heal more. Maybe I'll end up doing that someday. But at the same time, you can begin to hear you can move from this. Even if you move just a little, that is shifting the awareness. When you're staring at something, you are changing it. And when you really allow yourself to use tools instead of just your ego and observing it, you won't be anal and go screw yourself over. With the tool, you have more control, I would like to say, or more of understanding of all of the talk. Now, the only way to really survive what you did was think.
Yeah. Well, and I mean, something huge came up tonight. I did not realize that my stubbornness was this identity, this protection. So that right there kind of gives me a map to where to go. So
good. I have to say just one thing. You have a beautiful painting behind you, but because your hair is so beautiful, it just flows into the painting. And if that really wasn't there, I'd swear that was just an extension of your hair.
Oh, how funny. I love that painting.
I like it too. But see, I don't see that it's a dog. I think it's a dog.
It's a dog.
It's a dog. Okay, yeah. Now see, I don't see that. All I saw was hair. So when you are
that's funny.
It's about perceptions. It's the way we see it. It's about perceptions.
Yeah.
Looks like you have a ponytail. All right.
Thank you, dear.
Be graceful to yourself, love yourself, be patient. It's a hard road, but you know what? You have got to go back. Who were you before? All the healing tools, who are you now? You can begin to be proud of yourself. Yes?
Oh, absolutely. This gave me a roadmap because I have been struggling with forgiveness. And now I understand where that not letting loose is. And I was getting upset with myself because I couldn't forgive, but now I understand where it comes from. So it gives me.
Did you feel, now I know that there's that dominant female, the young one, but I feel like there was another one that was standing beside.
There was
position.
There was a teenager, like a 13 to 15-year-old, and then that little boy Sam came in too from a past life.
That's the one I saw. Okay, I couldn't quite see it. I felt like it was the boy, but he's not as strong anymore.
No, he's not.
I feel like you're really resolving that emotion that was so tied then. Oh my God, because he looks different and better.
Yeah, he has healed. He has healed a lot. It's like I say this stuff and go, what?
I know it sounds bizarre, but I
Yeah.
understand it.
I know you do. So,
Oh, but thank you. Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much for being a voice and helping us see deeper. I think sometime we may have to just like do a one-on-one publicly like this so that people can hear sometimes these thoughts, these things that they don't even realize is there. I mean, you're starting to really experiment in such a deep level. You know,
well, I don't know if you saw, but I'm actually starting a program in January for women to come in and tell their secrets, because one of the things that kind of my message was is sometimes getting to those emotions and healing, it's because your child wants to get that out and talk to it. It may need to be the victim. It may, and just saying it in a safe place. So I'm you know, doing that as a means to, okay, say it, get it out in a safe space, and then go heal it.
Yep. And sometimes you need those steps.
Yeah.
Sometimes you need those steps. Now, again, and you're going to have a lot of lessons with this. I'm just going to tell you up front, and you do take those notes because Spirit says they want you to grow exponentially fast, which means as you're doing this program, helping these people, you're going to start noticing where it's working, where it gets stuck, where it's happening. Take the notes, because then you're going to be able to refine, and then you're going to be able to do the most impact. Like, I love meat and potato. I want the end result. I want you to have some relief, but sometimes we need to dwell in it, talk about it, give it that space, and, you know, good on you.
So,
okay, good on you. And again, we may end up doing collaborations and stuff like this down the road to doing for YouTube. So remember, I'm just proud of you. I really am. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. All right. I love you, Eve. I will talk to you later. All right. Bye. Okay. So now, Miss Autumn, how do you feel?
Better. Physically, my feet are better. Feel better. Typically my hands and my feet are the ones that kind of go first in the sense of
how's that process. They go first. Tell me what that feels like, what that means.
What that means is that I go from a light sore day to, if I don't have meds, to a very sore, almost like crunching my feet.
Oof.
And then it also will go into my hands. If I don't take certain medications, I've even had my hands go like this, where it's not fun to, I mean, this is normal. This would be normal for me, because it would hurt to expand your hand.
It sounds like more of a fascia transfer. Okay, so like when your fascia, when you're having life things, your fascia is starting to being controlled. So it's, and here's the other weird part. If you've ever felt when a meridian is off, you'll start to cramp up. You will do this, but when it's just the meridian versus the fascia, it'll feel like you're having a cramp. Whereas when you have the meridian and the fascia, it will then can deform and keep you in a certain position. Okay, so it's good to see that this is opening, and you've worked on the meridians, a couple of them today. So just keep noticing and observing. If it's going back in the same position, even though you're getting more flexibility, then we're going to have to communicate with the certain types of overall meridians and find out what is the overall purpose. And we'll go deeper if necessary. Okay, so if you'd like to join that with me on Thursdays to some degree, I would love to. Off and on, we'll get you in, and but today you paid, and I appreciate that, to honoring me and yourself. So sometimes I'll throw you some free ones in there, because I want other people to understand you're made of energy, and sometimes it doesn't make a lick of sense, but we can tap into that. Okay.
I am one of those that you would, if you and I sat down together, you'd look at me like, are you kidding me? How the heck?
Yeah, you functioning in that
Wait.
restrictions. Woo, big time.
Yeah.
Big time. And
Yeah.
so I'm going to look at how the body wants to do it. And there's an overall, which is called the triple warmer. The triple warmer will actually start to grip, and it takes all the energy from all the other meridians except for the heart. The pericardium does its best to protect the heart. Her triple warmer does not know how to stop. Yes, honey? Okay.
Sorry.
That's okay. You know that lamp she has back there? I used to have one. I used to live in Michigan. It's funny. And when she gets back, we're going to go there. Now,
Sorry, I just had to go around the other side.
that's okay. Okay, so your triple warmer says I can't figure it out. So what's going to happen afterwards is that I want you to write down that you're going to do R3S, and
Okay.
this is where you have to notice when you can't figure something out. Now, if you don't start paying attention to this, then the body is going to constantly tell you, I can't figure it out, and it'll go in a position. Because a triple warmer, like for me, it creates allergy reactions. For you, it creates a physical distortion reactions. Now, that's not the overall, but that is a beginning thing to understand. So if you begin to hold R3S and start to notice when you, oh, I can't figure something out, like when somebody's talking, or it's not that you're doing home, looking at something and go, I don't know what that word means. That's not the can't figure it out. It is when people want something from you and you're like, you're going to go into what's called an arrested development, which is, I can't think past this particular point and how to do this. And so it will be, I can't figure it out. So that's what you're going to be doing. Okay, hon? Okay. So R3S, that right wrist, make sure you understand it's the third position, nice and soft. And you're going to catch when you, I can't figure out really what they want. Now, you're going to get confused to some degree because there's a party it's going, but I can see their pattern. Now, if you can clearly see more of their pattern and pull away from it as you hold R3S, you're going to be able to start to really differentiate. That's not you. You don't have to morph into it. You don't have to obey, but your body says, yes, you do. Yes, you do. Now, just so you understand, people, we're not blaming anybody. This is what her soul wants to work on, is put the energy into that space. It has to have people show up. It has to have stories to show up so she can get into that mind space of where her level of consciousness has stunted itself. She's ready to grow. Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much. And I'm glad you're starting to feel the difference. And I love the fact that you can open it up.
More or less.
More or less, yeah. And so your toes, how are your toes, your feet?
My feet are better. My hands are a little messed up. Not messed up, but I think it's because I've been holding source points.
Oh, yes. And so for you, I think if you can get in there and just wobble your fingers, and even if they crack, that's fine. But if you wobble them, go to the joint, get them wobbling at the joint. This is what also helps take and send the energy to the rest of the meridians to open and flow again. Okay. To open and flow again, especially when you've done work. So thank you so much. I appreciate you coming on, and we'll talk to you soon.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Bye.
All right. Thank you. Bye.